Hi, I'm Molly Troop.
Hi, I'm Lee Hedgman.
And we're here today to talk about our limited release offering coming soon to you, which is our Honey Barrel Geneva Gin.
Yes.
Yeah. How did that come to be?
Oh, well, it came to be, it's an amazing collaboration between, I believe, three amazing companies here in the local Pacific Northwest. One being Freeland Spirits, the other being the Barrel Bee, which is a company that produces barrel-aged honey products. And
That she
that is owned by me, and
operates.
Yes, I am the Barrel Bee.
I am the Barrel Bee, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make that a t-shirt. And Abbey Creek Winery, which is where the barrel came from.
So first, Freeland Spirits, we started with our Geneva Gin. It's been released for about 2 years now. And it kind of evolved from Jill and I having a conversation about releasing white whiskey. It was something that neither one of us really wanted to do. But it's also like a 4-year wait for the whiskey until it's ready for consumption by everyone else. Not just us and our barrel house to sample and see how it's going. So we really decided to do something a little bit different and also very traditional with this rye whiskey, and we made a gin out of it. So what happens is we take a first distillation run, and then we marry that with botanicals. There's 7 in there. Mostly it's a lot of juniper. There's also a lot of citrus notes as well, and there's some spice and some smoke from caraway. And then of course, yes, a very local ingredient that we source from my brother's farm. Yes. So we take all these ingredients and macerate it with the low wines, and then we do a second distillation, very similar to how we would make our rye whiskey. That ends up being our Geneva Gin. We proof it down to 90 proof and put it in its bottle.
It's a gorgeous little pig bottle you see, right?
It is the only gin that we've considered putting into a barrel, but we were waiting kind of for the perfect barrel to arrive. So
that's where I come in. So previously I had a batch release where I actually had worked with the local winemaker, Bertoni, from Abbey Creek, and I wanted a barrel to do age some honey in a wine barrel. Usually I don't use wine barrels because wineries tend to treat their wines with sulfites, and I didn't want a lot of those kinds of extra components in the wood and then pulled into the honey. So I worked with Bertoni for about a month to kind of figure out what we wanted to put in there. And he treated the wine very lightly with a lot of things, knowing that it was going to hold honey. And it was actually a Pinot Gris port barrel before he had aging in that. He took that out, and I put vetch honey in.
Like same day almost, as it was empty.
Oh, the day he emptied it, and I pretty much put the honey, drove out there and put the honey in. That day it was like, I think I had like 180 pounds or something like that in there.
Heavy.
And it was. I actually did it there because it was easier than trying to transport this barrel. But it's really great because vetch I picked for that because it's such a unique honey. Vetch is what we call pea pods. Basically, it's grown as a cover crop to reintroduces nitrogen into the soil. So they have that there. They had the hives there, and so they gathered all this. And it's very light, citrus, almost like fresh cut green grass, a lot of chlorophyll notes, very green. Mm-hmm. And it worked really well with the Pinot Gris, and it aged in that for a while. So we took that out, and usually what I'll do with a barrel when I've taken the honey out is, unless I've had to cut it open, so far I've had to
jaws of life
to do that twice. Oh my gosh! But I didn't for this one. Then I usually give it to like a brewery or a cidery, or someone can like reuse it because there's still honey left in that. When this one was empty, Molly and I were talking, and I said, "Ooh, this would be perfect. We should put the Geneva in that one." Because I really was like, I was curious to see how that would work. It's got so many great, lovely, nutty, smoky, savory notes that I was wondering in the Geneva that I was wondering how that would translate well after being barrel aged. So we put that in, pretty much early part of the 2020. Yeah.
I mean, 2020 was forever. That
Yeah,
was
I know.
a big
It's like-
part of 2020.
It was like an infinity barrel in 2020.
Yeah.
It was an infinity year. It seems to keep going.
What year is it? So yeah, we
Yeah,
put that
okay.
in July, and we weren't exactly sure how long we were going to age it. It was, we thought maybe a few months, and then time just continued
Just
to
kept
go.
going. It's so-
Like it does.
Yes.
And before we knew it, it had been 13, 14 months in barrel.
almost a year.
I think
It was a full year, yeah. So, we put it in June. I looked at the barrel; it has the date on it. It was
okay.
in June.
So it was
yeah, it was
14 months.
Yeah, it was a really long
Yeah.
time. We did go through and taste it periodically to figure out where it was at,
Control.
and to let people
Yeah.
see what we were doing.
Yeah. And it was just getting better and better as it sat. So we were not really worried about it getting into an awkward adolescent phase that can sometimes happen with barrel aging.
And then we just let it sit. We could have just let it sit till it had its temper change.
Yeah. We didn't want to completely forget about it.
No,
So,
and we did not.
and we also didn't want to completely forget about people who might also enjoy it.
Yes. So here's the thing. That particular barrel, being a wine barrel, is not charred. So it is lightly toasted. I think it was like a medium toast on that. So it wasn't going to give a lot of color because it's a neutral barrel. And it held a white Pinot Gris. So there
No
was
color
no
from the wine.
color from the wine. And the honey itself was this beautiful golden color. So a lot of the color, we weren't sure what we were going to get, how much color we were going to get, how much flavor, how much sweetness.
But it ended up being
Okay.
this beautiful golden color.
Because we saw it, and we're like, this has to go in a clear bottle so you could actually see what it looks like. And it came out this beautiful gold color that I was completely blown away. It's
Yeah.
really good.
We saw it.
We saw it and we kept tasting
Put it in a
it.
bottle, and we did a very limited amount of cases.
We did.
Um,
Wait, can we tell them how many cases we did?
I think.
Yeah. We did 49 cases. The last few cases, we were hand bottling.
Yes, it was a labor of love, as a lot of all of our bottlings are.
Oh, yeah.
Very much hands-on product.
So-
Hands-on.
And then it has
Yeah.
a special label. It has its own label. That was the other thing we decided to do, too.
Well, had to do.
What do we have to do? Legally? Put my
Yeah.
fingers out of the way. Can't see my nails.
So yeah, we're really happy to present this, and can't wait to get some feedback from customers. I know there's a couple of people who have been really looking forward to this
Yes.
release since we started talking about it last fall.
Yeah.
I think we did a video
were
about
doing
it.
Yes, we did. We did it in a video thinking we were going to be releasing it sooner than we were.
And a whole year later,
They were like, anybody wants to go back through our feeds and
Yeah.
find that video from us.
it's somewhere.
But sometimes good things need to come out in their own time, and you can't rush it, and you don't know what that's going to look like until it happens. So it just was a year in the making, but it was actually really well worth it. We're going to give it a quick taste here for everybody, so you can kind
Quick
of get
cheers, and then we'll get out of your hair.
There you go. So first thing you get, it smells like the Geneva.
Really?
But a bit more sweetness on the nose, actually.
Yes. So there's a component we put in the Geneva recipe as well called Licorice Root, which gives it a nice texture. It's part of the reason that it also kind of has a sweetness with it, and then paired that with the honey itself, it really just makes it more of like a golden,
I'm thinking
I wanna think-
butter cream.
I'm thinking
Frosting.
melted popsicle, like melted orange creamsicle.
Oh, that's a good one too.
I guess it could be frozen too. Melted might have a weird connotation, but it sounds good to me.
You know, but when you get that vanilla comes out, when you get the dreamsicle, that's that orange and the vanilla ice cream on the inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what that. Yeah.
Brings you back to childhood, which is
Well,
weird while
yeah.
you're drinking, but you know.
I don't know. My
Happens a
childhood was
lot.
pretty. my childhood was pretty bomb with that. Why do you think I do this? It's every day. Every day.
I
is a
never
reminder of
asked
my,
myself.
every day is a reminder of my childhood. The fun stuff, the fun part of it.
Yeah. To me, this still also reminds me of my mom's cinnamon rolls, too.
Oh, that's divine. Also, we decided to keep it at a pretty high proof.
106.
106 proof.
So one of our recommendations with this is to treat it like an aged mezcal, and however you want to drink that, proceed by all means.
Yes.
But in a margarita style drink,
Margarita's
this is
good.
really nice.
It's great, but on its own with a little bit of ice.
Mm-hmm.
I have put. What else do I like to have this with?
I don't know. Oh, honey drop.
Oh yeah, I think this would be good in the honey drop. A little bit of egg white, a little lemon juice,
A little bit of honey.
a little bit of just a little bit more honey.
Yeah.
But
Always
also,
the extra on the honey for
You
you.
know, yes, because I tend to like my cocktails sweeter than most people.
Angie has access to a lot of honey.
Dude. So, I mean, you'll be able to sit and drink this and think there's going to be a ton of other flavors that you're going to get out of this one. But for us, it's very savory, sweet, nutty, food-like, and just complex. Every time I taste it, I taste something a little bit different.
It's a very dynamic spirit, and we love tasting it. We love figuring out new notes, but I'd love to hear other people's thoughts about it too. And and hopefully this goes quick. I think it's going to go quick.
Yes.
So might want to jump on getting your own bottle.
Yeah. Before I pretty much just take everything.
Yes, we've considered taking it all for ourselves, but we
Totally
have learned to share. Another childhood lesson.
There you go. So it's making martinis.
This is my childhood.
Mine too.
It wasn't mine. It wasn't mine.
Sure it wasn't? Oh, mine was. Thank you for joining us. We're pretty sure that
We've devolved.
yeah.
You've been
That's all right.
listening.
That's why we have an amazing editor.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Have a good one.
Cheers.